What is up, everyone? This will be my Red Kayn jungle video, and I'm going to go over everything you need to know on how to play Red Kayn. So Red Kayn has been much stronger recently compared to Blue, and the build that I think is really broken on him is to obviously go Conqueror page with Inspiration second. Items, you can either go Eclipse or Hubris first item into the more traditional Bruiser build, which is Cleaver, Spear of Sojin, Death Stance, Maul, Sterix, whichever you really need in the situation of the game. For pathing, solo Raptors is always like the best play. You can solo the enemy Raptors, but it's much more cheesy and risky. So in this game, I'm going to start Q level 1 and solo my Raptors. Enemy ward here is most likely the mid laner, which honestly doesn't matter. I'm going to be healing a lot with my Q. So here you always want to line up with your Q ability on jungle camp. So your Q has two parts to it. It's the dash and the spin part. So you always want to kind of utilize both components when you're farming. So here I'm going to use my E to kind of just traverse the area, and here we're going to use the dash and spin part. And good things you need to know about this mechanic is you can use the walls to kind of insta cast it. So here in this situation, we're going to use the wall to get our position to make the Q pretty much instant cast, and this is just how to utilize faster clears just like that. If it's not thick enough, you're going to end up dashing over the wall, so only use it on thick parts of the wall. For example, this part on the red buff is an area you can utilize it and just make a nice little dash angle. You just have to get into position though. And for clears, you always want to play for your full clear on Red Kayn. It's really important. Here you can E, and sometimes you can use your E for a very long period of time to get over walls like this as well to speed up your clear. So you can see, utilizing the movement of the terrain, you're able to get a really far distance. I believe this is you're only able to do that on red side. So on this side, if you try doing it like this way, I found it to be much more inconsistent. So you might run into issues there. Just remember that. So here I'm against Warick jungle. Warick jungle is the pain of my existence sometimes, but with Red Kayn, we do counter him in a way. He is similar to us. Oh, we have a problem. I'm gonna auto here and smite to seal it. What a dirty little rat. And this is what I'm talking about. We have a problem with champs like this Warick. There I was just keeping myself calm. I didn't panic at all. As you can see, I kept myself really nicely footed on the ground, and here we're gonna just play really safe with our positioning. Now that I'm level 4, Warick has to decide on, is he going to keep trying to cheese? Here is a beautiful angle where we're just going to set up, obviously, just get the Braum kill. You love to see that. That's a first blood, and it's a melee support. You know what that means? It means red orbs, which help us get to our red transformation so much quicker. Essential for our game plan. Here I'm going to drop a ward here just in case that dog comes back. I gotta keep him on his toes. Warick is a disgusting champion. Now he's gonna be able to see that I actually am basing after getting bot grab. And his cheese was really bad for him. He took a very cheesy path, and a lot of times you just have it's a risk that he took, a disgusting one, but a risk. So here I'm gonna just buy a pink ward. Personally, in this game, Eclipse looks really good. If I'm against more squisher champions, but I still want to go Red Kayn, I do prioritize going Hubris, because I think it's just a very cost-efficient item. Even with Red Kayn, you are able to get a lot of value off of it. So here I know Warick saw me bot side. He could try to steal my Raptors. That's why you see myself going in this situation towards Raptors. So you can see he's trying to steal it. Here I'm just going to go on the Lux really quickly. Get her flash, which is nice. I'm going to fight the Warick here a bit. Mostly for just to get, transformation stacks. I do have my E coming up, so I do entertain this a bit. And I'm just entertaining the idea of, just stacking red form stacks. I really don't have much desire on... See, here I'm really playing around it. Now I can flash because he flashed. Very nicely done. No, just a lot of red stacks. Flash for flash. Honestly, I'm not too upset about that. I love getting Warick flash because he relies heavily on it. If he tries to jump on me here, I'm able to just dash over walls or use my E to get away from him. Lux was obviously overstaying there, so that's good for us too. So here I'm going to use my E. And things to remember with your E is if you take any sort of damage, it puts it on like a... It pretty much kicks you out of it. So you have like 0.5 seconds after taking damage. You can cast spells while you're using your E, so that's something you can utilize. Depending on how you want to utilize it, you can make some good plays off that. This situation, I see void grubs are in 10. I do want void grubs. And when you're skilling your points into Kayn, you want to do 3 points into Q into W max. That's the goal we're going to be going for right now. Warick could be in this brush, so I respect it by hugging here. I do want to do the void grubs, but I also want to make sure Warick is not in the area. So what I'm doing is just starting it, and if I see a Warick, I'm going to just E out and reset it. Getting one is the most important thing. You just have to remember when you're jungling. The one void grubs is essential, right? So if I see Warick right now, what I'm going to do is just smite and run. Because first of all, you do not want to be fighting auto to auto against a champ like Warick. Kayn is really weak until you transform. Like, I mean really weak. You're not really that much of a champion until you transform. The goal is to get to the transformation as soon as possible. Some situations you can get it faster. You don't want to make your whole game about just having to get your transformation. You still have to play a very normal, smart game. Even though that early game, it's easy to just auto people for free without, you know, being in danger. Like that Warick, I was really never in danger of dying to him because a champ like Warick doesn't really have the same ways to get over walls. So I'm able to kind of like poke the dog in a way. But some champions you're just going to have to respect a lot. Like Lee Sin will for sure run me down. And you just have to know which champions are like that. Because your dashes over the wall, the mobility you have is really strong. If used against a champion that's really not good in that regard. So here, a nice little full clear. I can decide on what I want to do. Most likely I'm going to base here. I see the Warick here. Do I want to invade? Maybe steal his camps? Not really. I actually want to go Lethality a bit here this game. I think both are good. Eclipse into, you know, more of a tanky, but I just think Lethality, I think Hubris is really good on Kayn, whether it's red or blue. You just utilize it very well. It just gives you a lot of AD, and red Kayn scales heavily off bonus AD. If you really want to be a threat in the game, you're going to have to invest a bit into, you know, just straight up damage. So here we're going to go red Kayn. We're going to go Hubris, and I'm going to go most likely, you know, you can still go Eclipse second item if you like, or you can just go into whatever build you so desire. Here I'm just farming. It's a very slow game. I would love to be here to fight right now, but I'm not there, so I just don't really have much I can do about it. I can also farm stacks off this Yorick. It's definitely a possibility that we're going to entertain here. I think it's extremely easy to farm off. I think his base might be, looks like he's respecting, so I'll just let him base here. That could have been a kill as well, but I don't have flash up, so whenever I don't have flash up, I just kind of be careful with my plays. Here I want to see if he's teleporting. If not, I'm going to go bot side. Looks like he is teleporting. So whenever you TP like that, you end up having your, what's it called? Your wave sort of bouncing back. So it's just an angle for us we can kill here. What I'm going to do is E. We always want to start with your W when you E and then auto attack. And very beautifully done. You see how I stay there as long as possible? Work is bot side, so I don't have to be afraid of any of that shenanigans of him being super fast. He does see me because I'm below half. Blood Trail reveals where you are when you're below half HP. Here I'm just checking his camp cycle. We're going to be maxing W second, so I'm going to be maxing my W second here. I'm really close to transformation. The thing about orbs, or your red and blue orbs, is if you permafarm one stack, it actually reduces the effectiveness of how much you're going to get from that one orb stack. But if you farm red and then you farm blue, you actually get somewhat of a benefit. So here I'm going to just poke him a bit. Wasn't expecting to kill him, but you know, we take what we can. And that's an easy 9-minute, 55-second red form. Beautifully set up for us to get a maximum value from here. Thank you for Smolder for backing me up there. Here we're going to go into this. Build boots wise, honestly, armor and Merchandise look really good here. So I'm going to go into armor. Think about when you're transforming, you can always be on the edge of the area. You don't have to be sitting here to transform. It actually is the same range as the shop range. So you can just use the indicator of this area as where you can stand to get when you need to transform. And here I'm going to be farming as much as possible in this window. I'm extremely strong with hubris, so I can just make whatever plays I want happen. This Leona walking in is extremely greedy, and we're going to punish her here. I think she's over here. So she's probably going to go for the blast plants. So what we're going to do is hit it together. She tries to find me. It's actually a mistake. That's another stack of humors. You know, like I said, it's so easy to stack this item, and I think it's just so cost efficient. Even though I think Eclipse is really good as well, but it depends if you're against like a squishier comp or whatever comp you end up finding yourself in. Here I'm going to Q dash over, spot the Sivir, see if she has vision. With the enemy support dead, you can play a much more aggressive position. Doesn't mean you have to dive them bot, but you can just set up in this really aggressive position, as you can see I'm in. And on the next wave, if Leona doesn't respond quickly, you can easily set up for a very simple straight dive. I still think we could easily dive with my Aura against the Sivir. Honestly, a passive mark on here will set up a very beautiful kill. And what I'm doing is punishing off of the Warick's position. Warick shows topside. I'm just like, okay, adios. I'm going to capitalize on this. Now that I know her spell shield is down, I can just dive her here. Now I have to wonder if Warick is coming, but I have no way out, so the only way I can really commit here is to fight the Lux. Honestly, my mana was a bit low, or else I might have done more there. It was a good play, though. We got a lot off it. We got Kayn snowballed. Even though I played selfish, my selfishness rewarded me and my bot lane with so much value. And here I'm going to go armor boots. And here, if they're really squishy, you can just go into like more armor pen and stuff like that. But this is where you can just go straight into bruiser, even though, yes, my build is somewhat lethality heavy. You can easily transition into whatever you want. I just like going pickaxe because if I want Eclipse, I can still go to Eclipse. It's really depending on what you want exactly. I just don't like Eclipse all the time. I think it's kind of not as strong as it is before. I think Hubris is really overtuned item in solo queue, especially. There's so many ways to... It gives you just so much value. So easy to stack in solo queue. If you're able to play aggressive playstyle, you're gonna get a lot of bonus AD from that item, which scales really hard because all your abilities scale off bonus AD. Nothing from Kayn is from base AD. Tank items, you want bruiser items when you play Red Kayn. Here I'm just farming. I'm just 3 points into Q, W max. The W max reduces the cooldown a lot, and you're really all about the damage and the knock-up of your W. If you don't get your W knock-up, you're gonna find it that you end up struggling a lot, so you just remember. Here, I'm thinking, do I need to help my team? Looks like they are fighting hard. Failed fight. That Warick overextended. We're able to just play our way. Here, I'm going to hit this. And you can use your W while you're in a wall to knock up opponents. It's a really OP ability. A lot of times you want to use your W first unless you think they have vision on you. It can surprise a lot of people. And then you want to Q dash onto people. You can smite an ulti if you want to ulti, but your ulti is generally important to survive on Kayn. Use it when you feel like you're about to get focused down, crowd controlled, all that kind of stuff. But you don't really want to be wasting it, because if you waste your R, it's your main ability to reset the fight for yourself and also just escape and reposition. So you always want to be very aware. You can start fights with R, but it's situational, right? Just remember how you need to play it. If I'm not in range of it, sometimes the smite into R is a really good combo. Very instant reaction thing. So Lux is coming to check here, but she's very crazy. Aw. I can play aggressive, flash W or something, but... I do have R. If I can press my button... Oh my god, I actually got chain CC. That was obviously too aggressive. We don't need to be doing stuff like that. But it is what it is. We just played way too carelessly. We got CC'd to death. They have a lot of crowd control, so we have to respect that. Just wanted to put on a little bit of a show for you guys. I should have flashed W on the Lux. I think I could have made greatness happen there. But overall, we got the objective already. When you're in this dominant position, it's all about just objective, objective, objective. So here I'm going to just instantly run. I want to ping my team that we should fight because I'm on the way. And enemy teams will make lots of mistakes. So here you can also use your E to get into the wall to keep the duration going. It's important when you're playing Kayn. So here they're overextending. This is just a beautiful angle for our fight. I may drop the Herald here just to get myself a better angle. Very nicely done. Now we're here. I really want to use the Herald here to kind of get my reposition going. So I'm going to use it to charge into the enemy team. I'm not going to use it on a tower. It's mostly going to be used for me to kind of find an angle, for example, on this Lux. Damn, so low. I really put all my juice into those. I try to make a beautiful play for you guys. I should have smited the spell shield on her. I wonder if I had it up. They may overextend here. They may overextend. I'm going to heal up on red. You can heal up real quick. Real quick. You're still quite low. But Sivir and other guys coming. If nothing's happening, just take farm. Farm will eventually heal you. Once you kill the big monster, it heals you based off your missing health. So you can just make a play off right after. Oh my god, these Warick wolves. No, the last one beat me in my behind, bro. What is this shit? What is he feeding his ghouls? Disgusting. I almost have my clips. We're super ahead, snowballed really well. Good thing about League now, with the bounty system being way different, it's harder for the enemy team to come back through bounties. So it's better if you just keep snowballing and just don't give them chances. Obviously that was aggressive as hell, but I'm trying to put on a show for you guys. But generally I would just play for the dragon, play for the objective, drown them out, play for my camps, play for simple invades, pick off people who I think are overextending. What the hell? Why did it find me? The hell was that? Oh, dude, I hate this new system where it auto buys random stuff for you. Here I'm just gonna farm up and play around with my ulti. I have a lot of jungle camps up. It's really good for me to just farm it up. Later in the game, when you get to points like this, it's really about doing one side of your jungle and then going for something aggressive. And that's what we're going to do exactly here. Do one side, our blue side, and then try to invade and see what's going on. Right now, if we look what objectives coming up next, Baron in 50. So even though Baron can possibly be a hard objective to do, it easily can be something you can accomplish when your team is winning. And you're really ahead as well. So here I'm going to actually get this mid wave because my team is top side. It's always good to farm waves after 20 minutes. Around 20 minutes or after, you get full experience from jungle camps or from minions. So you always want to be farming. Example as I showed you here. So Leona is going to be walking into me. So maybe we can actually play here. She's quite tanky though. So we are limited on how much we can do. But the Lux is by herself now. Oh my god, I actually almost died from that. It works on the run. Need Braum tag on him. Beautifully done, Braum. You performed when I needed you to perform. Oh, I'm playing a dangerous game, but that's how it is. Lux has R, so I just have to be able to juke it here. always position yourself in a spot where you're not going to get lined down by Rek'sai. So always have a lot of space to maneuver left and right. You can see the damage is really high with this build. There are a lot of iterations on how you want to build. You can just go Eclipse into Bruiser, but I think against more squishy comps, you can easily fit in the Hubris and go into whatever build you want after. You can go Edge of Night, more hybrid. You can just go into the standard build with like a cleaver here. Whatever you like, it can be accomplished. Hybrid, Bruiser, Assassin, Red Kayn does it all. As long as you're building good items, you're going to be doing really well. And for MR and armor, obviously we want, like, you know, Death Stance, Maul, Spirit Visage are good too. Depends on your situation. Core items are pretty much all you want to do. Here, Dragon's up. I still want to keep myself farming in a really good pace. I don't want to fall behind. When you're ahead, the biggest mistake you can make is just giving the team chances to catch up through farm by pretty much unprioritizing your jungle camps, which easily can happen. Here, if you're ever scared of places, you can just E to check. See this mark on the ground? It reveals that there's someone in there. I'm obviously not going to die to that. That little orb on the ground reveals who's there. It reveals that there's an enemy champ there and also which direction they're in. So that orb was pointing there. That was their direction. Here, I just want to farm one camp and then rejoin the fight. You heal a lot and you heal quick when you do that. Soloq has no mana, so I can just kind of chase her down a bit here. My next W should kill. I'm gonna R here and then wait for the Q. The knock-up was all I had in me. That was the juice that I was able to push out. Cleaver, Edge of Night's still good if you want to go hybrid. Oh, Scion. You're messing with the wrong machine right there. Ooh, Leona wants it though. I don't know if you want it on that person. Smolder scaling. Disgusting champion, by the way, but he is scaling. Ah, good old Warick. A good old-fashioned Warick getting kited to death. Tradition. It's once you kind of get through the early game against Warick, he falls off dramatically, so don't give him easy fights. Like, use him for the stacks and just really don't give him those angles where you can get super easy win-con fights off of it. Here, I'm just going to farm a camp or two and then I'm going to go into their jungle. I'm just going to keep vision on them. I obviously want Baron, but I don't want to just be randomly doing it. So what you want to be doing is actually taking control of their jungle like that, warding it, looking for picks, and then just punishing them. So I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.